there is kind of an art to hooping. It'll be something that you'll just kind of need to learn as you go. So first off, as you take a look at your hoop, I'm going to go ahead and take the quick release and open that up. Separates the two hoops, and I'm going to loosen this screw a little bit more than necessary. All right, you're going to notice your outer hoop has a bracket on the side. That is going to need to always be on the left side. And as you look at your inner hoop, there's a couple things you'll see. Number one, you'll always get to see what size it is. This one is the 240 by 150. There's also some marks across from side to side and also bottom to top that we could use to line up with any marks that we've drawn on our fabric to make sure things get in there straight. There is an optional hoop template you can purchase, and that can help. It has a grid on it. That can help for getting things lined up that are on garments or something that just has to be perfect before you go. Okay, before I take my fabric and hoop it, I've cut 2 layers of tearaway stabilizer. Look at our videos on stabilizer. That will give you a good idea of like what to actually pick out for different types of fabric. Tearaway for woven fabrics, cutaways for stretchy fabrics. But one thing I like to do is actually use a little spray adhesive and hook my layers together here. So I'm spraying my stabilizer, and it's like Post-it note in a can here. This particular brand is the new one from Mettler. It's called a Web Bond. I like it because there's a little bit more direct spray, not so much overspray. So I don't have to worry about getting so much of it on my sewing machine or my tables. It reminds me of Spider-Man. You know how the Spider-Man, he always had the web shooting right out of his fingers. Well, this definitely feels like I'm shooting spider web directly onto my fabric. Okay, so the nice thing is as that sticks together, when I go and pull it from corner to corner, see my fabric doesn't actually stretch on the bias because it's actually sprayed and held in place. Next, I'm going to take my inner hoop and just kind of set it down to kind of where I want it to do. I'm going to go ahead and try to hoop this right in the middle because that's where my center of the design is. I've drawn the lines with the Frixion pen. This pen, and it comes in lots of colors, goes away with the heat of an iron. So just when I'm done, I can touch my iron to it, disappears instantly. If you are going to be marking on black or darker fabrics, Clover makes the white marking pen, and that is wonderful. Keep in mind when you use this white marking pen, when you mark, it has a delay. That means it needs to dry just for 5, 6, 7 seconds before it shows up. So if you keep marking it because it's not showing up, well, it keeps keeping it wet. So stop marking it. It works great. It just has a delay. That's all you have to know. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hoop with my bracket over here on the left side. I'm going to lift up my fabric like this. See how it's all nice and even? It goes with me. And I'm going to go ahead and put the top part of this hoop into the top part over here. Now, if I've opened that screw far enough, this should not be a problem. I am going to slide it off the edge of the table just to kind of open everything up and kind of squish it down in there. Okay, so as it's there, now right now it's just kind of sitting there. It almost feels like it's even really extra tight. Well, no, that's about right. And it looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and close the little quick release. And then I'm going to tighten that screw as far as I will go. Now, I'm not pulling my fabric. I'm not trying to get this tight in the hoop. That's what the spray adhesive did. It went ahead and contained or stuck my fabric to the stabilizer, making it really easy. So after I've tightened this, if I had another piece of fabric with this same combination of stabilizer to stitch out next, all I'd have to do is flip this open at the end, switch fabric, and then snap it closed, and I don't have to loosen or tighten the screw very much. Now eventually you are going to probably strip this screw or even break this off. That's just normal wear and tear because we tend to get in a hurry and we pop it out. So I just note that eventually you're going to probably need an extra one of those. If you have a second hoop that you've purchased, you can transfer that screw to this hoop and then you'd have that spare. But just by the way, you will, and of course it only happens while you're embroidering or trying to hoop up fabric. The last thing I do, like right now, you can kind of hear the hoop scratching against the table. So I like to take my thumbs on the inside, my fingers on the outside, and just push the inner hoop just past the outer hoop, just a little bit. And that makes it just perfect. Now, if you get any like little wrinkles or bubbles right here where the clip is, the screw is, that's okay. That's not going to cause anything. Now this hoop is perfectly smooth on the back side, and we're ready to show you how to attach it to the machine and get a design pulled up.